My name is Reoga. I'm from the district of Chennai, Tamil Nadu. I've completed my schooling from DAV School, Adambakam branch, and I've completed my undergraduation from Electronics and Communication Engineering and my post-graduation from MSc Yoga for Human Excellence. I was a rifle shooter, but I'm not practicing it for this past 3 years. And in my free time, I used to teach yoga and I perform yogasanas. I've taught nearly 50 students for performing yogasanas.
So currently what you are doing?
I'm currently working as a forester in Forest Department.
When did you join?
I joined in the month of September, sir.
Very recently.
Yes, sir.
The reason why you wanted to leave this state government job and go for the higher UPSC examinations?
My goal was to join in civil service, but I thought of entering into any job so that I can build my strong foundation from how administration is working. So I got an opportunity to work as forester in Forest Department, sir.
What is the nature of work you have been doing at Forest Department?
I'm working as a forester in Social Forestry Department, sir. The Social Forestry, the main motto is to improve the tree cover to 33%. So the majority of the work goes for plantation and the growth of saplings in nursery, sir.
How does it help in moving towards your UPSC examination, this experience?
So majority of my work as a forester is related to field work, where I need to communicate with farmers, I need to communicate with the peoples in the local panchayat. So I think this will build my communication aspect and improve it in the civil servants, sir.
As a forester, what your day-to-day responsibilities?
So my day-to-day responsibility will be to take care of the nursery. It has nearly 15,000 saplings of the timbers to promote economic opportunity for the peoples. And sir, we also undertake plantation along the state highways and minor district roads. I have currently planted nearly 2,500 saplings around 3 state highways, sir.
So that saplings you are doing in the same, your department alone or in association with the NSS, NCC from the education institutions you are supporting?
Yes, sir. We do provide saplings to the education institute. Example, I'm working as a forester in Tirthani. There is a college called GRT.
Yeah.
We have nearly gave them 500 saplings to improve their soil enrichment also, sir.
Good, good. The Tamil Nadu frequently reports human-animal conflict. Why this is increasing despite conservation efforts?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Currently, there is an increase in human-wildlife conflict.
Oh.
But the main reason is because wildlife doesn't get their food and resources from their forest, and even also humans are getting encroached into the forest area. So I think this is the primary reason why there is a increasing in wildlife conflict. But steps has been taken in many forms, such as IE project in Coimbatore to reduce the entry of elephants into the agriculture fields, as well as the thermal sensors are used to reduce their movement. So we can predict their entry before itself, and the field workers such as forester and rangers are taking a prior step to reduce them, sir.
Yeah, that human animal conflict, I come across in newspaper and TV. Some of the landowners they are putting the barricade with electrical. Is it correct?
It is not correct, sir, actually, because it carries high current. But there is a new step which is taken, that is solar fencing.
Yeah.
It doesn't provide the electricity at a stretch, just a pulse is given so that we can protect from entering, and it also doesn't damage the wildlife, sir.
Good. Alternative
Yes,
idea. Okay, good. Forest cover in Tamil Nadu is relatively stable, yet biodiversity stress is rising. Why? Tamil Nadu is relatively stable forest cover, yet biodiversity stress is rising. Biodiversity stress is rising. Why?
Actually,
Any idea?
no, sir, I'm not having any idea.
Okay.
So you're from engineering background.
Yes, sir.
What made you to become a civil servant? Because engineering there are number of opportunity. You invested most of your time on engineering education. Now you wanted to become a civil servant. What made you to inspire?
So my childhood dream was to join in civil service, but there has been many claims that only 1% succeed. So as a income stability, I took EC. But sir, I thought that reading in EC and developing the knowledge on electronics and communication, it will support the civil service aspect also, sir. So it was the reason why I chose EC as a degree, sir.
Okay, fine. So recently, Government of India coming with a big slogan called Viksit Bharat 2047. Could you please share your thoughts on Viksit Bharat?
Yes, sir. Viksit Bharat means that India will become a developed country. Currently, it is a developing status. So, to improve the developed status, there are multiple schemes and the goals and objectives that are to be achieved. Example, we are focusing on manufacturing, which is currently 11%. Promoting the manufacturing and strengthening it will support every other employment opportunity. And we are also strengthening in the service sector and diversifying in various fields through PLI, an example, semiconductors, supercomputers, everything, sir.
Yes, exactly right. Promoting manufacturing industry leads to environmental damages. How it will make sustainability? Because now pollution is a big problem everywhere. You are keep on promoting manufacturing, it leads further consequences. What regulation would you like to adopt?
The regulation I would like to adopt is the waste which is to be let out in the environment should be treated properly. Treating it will give a positive impact and it increases the sustainability. And in manufacturing, we can introduce wet scrubbers which are used in electricity also. This would reduce the pollutant from escaping and capturing it before prior answer. So these measures can be taken, and frequent inspections can also be taken in the industry to check whether the rules are properly managed.
Okay. Assume that you are a district collector. There is a conflict between two villages over water resources. What immediate measure will you take to resolve the issue?
Sir, as a district collector, the first measure I would take is I will communicate with the village panchayat heads so that we can reduce the turbulence at that moment, and we can create a sharing between of waters between the village committee by creating a communication. But for water, we need to take a long-term measures by building watersheds and irrigation purpose should be benefited, sir. Should be created to reduce the conflict as a long-term perspective, sir.
Okay. How can civil servants can contribute to achieve Viksit Bharat 2047? What is the role of civil servants in Viksit Bharat 2047?
So the motto to achieve Viksit Bharat is to Sarvodaya through Antodaya. Antodaya, till the last mile, there should be connectivity and implementation. So the role of civil servant is utmost important because the development issues and initiatives which are taken by the government should reach every aspects of the sections and citizens. So I think civil servants will act as a steel frame in this, sir.
Okay. Are you aware of there is a scheme called Prime Minister Ujjwala scheme?
Yes, sir. I'm aware of it.
Could you please light on that?
Sir, it is a free delivery of LPG services to women. In that, women is taken as the leader of the house. And in certain places, the LPGs are provided in subsidized manner too, sir.
How the policy has been designed? In what way government has been designed that policy?
So the
What is the purpose of the policy?
Yes, sir. The primary purpose of the policy is to reduce the use of woods for the burning of the for cooking. It was primary reason because it created pollutants and it also introduced the health effects into the women by damaging their lungs and health. It was also a pollutant not only is an outdoor, also for indoor. So this was the reason why Ujjwala scheme was invented, sir.
Are you aware of there is a policy called Give It Up policy?
Sir,
It is very relevant to Ujjwala scheme.
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of it.
Okay, great. So how do fintech companies contribute economic growth or financial inclusion?
Sir, in my opinion, I think fintech can do the both by financial inclusion as well as by development aspect, because it uses technology aspect into the finance, which provides easy disbursement of loans and also check whether the loans reaches at the proper time, and whether interest are taken care of. So I think it will promote both aspects as a fintech goal, sir.
Thank you.
Renuga okay. In your profile, you mentioned that you are a secretary of food waste reduction, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, there is a very famous saying, I'll tell you the saying. They say, practically no food is wasted. Okay. It means what you waste is the food for others. In that way, if you say this food waste, right? What exactly is this food waste?
So the term I mentioned in that it specifies that in our mess there would be excess of wastage after they eat. They have a certain portion which is left uneaten or unutilized. So our measure was taken to reduce that aspect, sir, so that everyone would take the food the way they can eat and the ability they can do. And we, in that initiative, we kept a weighing machine before our mess so that we could show that this much kg of wasted a day or that meal. It created awareness that we should not waste food by not eating them, sir.
You're a forester, right? You're a forester, right? Have you heard about anything called as a dry evergreen forest? Normally, we have a perception that evergreen forest will be normally confined to a place where the rainfall is very high. But somewhere, say for example, we have a very unique ecosystem called as dry evergreen forest. Have you heard about it?
Sir, I have heard about it, but I have less knowledge on it, sir.
My goodness. At least you know that which part of India is having this dry evergreen forest. Sometimes also called as East Deccan forest.
No, sir, I'm not aware of it.
Okay, right. Not an issue. Okay. You're a student of anthropology, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when I just somewhere, if I start going for historical research, right? Starting from this Indus Valley civilization, and say, for example, the recent archaeological discoveries what we have made. What exactly is that connection you have between this Indus Valley civilization and the archaeological discovery of Tamil Nadu?
The archaeology discovery in Tamil Nadu, example, Vaike civilization holds examples are that I'm not sure of the word. And the products which are manufactured in Indus Valley was found here. Example in the forms of pots or the coins. I'm not.
What is the commonest element what you have between this Indus Valley civilization and the discoveries here?
Commonalities we can say is urban settlements, sir. Even in Indus Valley, certain parts are urban settlements, example Lothal. We can see that as well as in Vaige civilization, sir.
Okay, any relevance you have with this Purunai, which was very recently inaugurated?
So I need to read about it, sir.
Okay, not an issue. See, nowadays you're seeing a kind of an unrest which is going around the world, right? Almost say, for example, started from Bangladesh, then somewhere kind of an uprising you saw in Nepal. A margin of it also came to Ladakh, right? And yesterday there was an issue in Assam. You heard about it?
No, sir, I'm not aware of it.
Okay, not an issue. At least you're aware of the situation, what is happening in Bangladesh?
Yes.
Okay. But the question is, what is the impact or the relevance that this issue will be having with this India and Bangladesh relation?
Yes, sir, this issue will have an effect on India-Bangladesh relation. It will hamper our exports as well as our soft power diplomacy with Bangladesh. But I think, sir, it is mainly because of the territorial disputes in the Bangladesh as well as the political vacuum which is created.
No, what I'm asking, no. There is a very strong agenda asking for Sheikh Hasina to return. Okay. But we have given asylum to Sheikh Hasina, right? Now what I'm asking, say for example earlier, if you remember India and China, we had a similar kind of a bone of contention we had, right? When Dalai Lama came here, right, we have given asylum, right? Entire India and China's relation got, say for example, strained. That is one of the reasons why we had this 1962 war. Am I right? If that is the historical learning what India has taken, now what I'm asking, right, why should we give asylum, right, to somebody who is declared as, say for example, almost a convict or somewhere, right? They have declared somewhere, say for example, they are convicted. Why should India give asylum? Don't you think, like India and China, we'll also have a confrontation with Bangladesh in the future?
Yes, sir, we may have confrontation, but India always stands for the protection of human rights and human values. The former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina ma'am didn't get her due rule of law by giving our opinion. The reason and the judgment which was given was one-sided, and we cannot do the repatriation because the rule of law was not followed. We can take this contention into the international institutions and later we can decide on it. But the relation should not get strained, sir.
What is the immediate solution India has in its hand?
India has to communicate clearly with the Bangladesh that what is the present crisis and what will be the effect on the humanitarian crisis which could take place. And we can get support from the international institution as well as the global powers to reduce this conflict, sir.
Okay, one final question, right? Like Bangladesh, like Nepal, do you see any similar kind of an agitation, or say, for example, something, a kind of a Gen Z war throwing the government? Do you see any signs of similar things happening in India?
Sir, in my opinion, I don't think that is happening in India because
Or will it happen in India?
No, sir, it will not happen.
Why?
Because the current unemployment rate is around 4%, and in case of youth it is 11%. We are reducing it by taking many steps to provide them the quality education, quality employment opportunity. We are creating arena for increasing FDIs in many industries as well as service sector. So when their livelihood access are fulfilled, they won't go for the protest in the form
You
of Gen
mean
Z.
to say
Sir.
that give them employment, it is peaceful?
Yes, sir. They would get their due representation in the country, sir.
Hi, Reoga.
Hi, ma'am.
Good. I'm very happy that you're answering with a lot of confidence and things that you do not know. You're honest to say, put it forward like you're not knowing it. No worries. So, Reoga, tell me. I just went through your profile. So inspiring that you have done NCC. You are a yoga instructor and all. See, civil service is sometimes the journey is kind of it will tax you mentally. Now, having said that, in this particular journey in your profile, what I found is that you are very much interested in yoga and all, right? You're an instructor and all. Yes. So now, how yoga or sports has helped you during the difficult phase of preparation?
During preparation phase, ma'am.
How is this helping? How did this help you?
Ma'am, my process in UPSC was nearly a 5 years of journey. That resilience and calmness to go forward and give your best came from yoga, ma'am. The concentration power or the self-belief. Yoga also helpful in the introspection purpose that what I am lacking, though, so how I can build on it. Every aspect was helpful during my preparation phase, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you know that India wants to become a US dollar 30 trillion economy by 2047, which is the Viksit Bharat thing. Now, what are the key drivers?
I think the key drivers will be in 3 areas, ma'am. Health, education and employment generation. Without health, there won't be any effective work opportunity, or they can't contribute there completely to the environment. Economy. The second one will be on education. Without quality education, there will be a gaps and skill development gaps will persist. So addressing this will be in need of an hour. And thirdly, I will go for employment generation, ma'am.
So these are the parameters.
Yes, ma'am.
My question was, what are the key drivers that you think, okay, this is going to enable India to become a dollar 30 trillion economy?
The key driver will be to focus on export-driven economy, ma'am. To produce export-driven economy, we should concentrate on the 3 sectors, primarily the primary sector, secondary sector and the tertiary sector. So implementing, there are many schemes currently, but implementation, if it is done in a proper way, we can achieve the 30 trillion economy 2047, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you were just answering about unemployment to one of the distinguished panelists here, and you said unemployment has, been increasing, right? So now, as per the recent 2025 data of November, it is said that from 5.2%, unemployment of India has come down to 4.7%, which means we are in the phase of reduction. Yes. Now, having said that, very recently, 2 days back, did you go through that Odisha issue where 8,500 candidates were sitting on the airstrip for writing an exam and they were applying for a job where there is only 183 vacancies? Now, how do you see this? As an upcoming officer, how do you see this and what are your suggestions?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. For that, our 180 posts, there are nearly 8,000 students sitting. In that, ma'am, we are not sure that how many are unemployed in that situation and how many are desiring to join government service. And we don't have any idea that in which jobs are they fully satisfied with this. So these are the reason why they are again aspiring for other exams.
So you mean to say it is an employment crisis of India or it is a preference over stability?
I would go for preference over stability, ma'am.
So now, how good are you in your current affairs?
I think I'm okay, good, ma'am.
Now, quickly, can you tell me, for example, okay, You have become a district magistrate. You have become a district magistrate. Now, how will you address the issue of groundwater depletion? Because that is indeed a very serious issue, right? And coming from the forester background, you'll be able to address it in a much better way. Yeah.
Excess groundwater exploitation has been higher in the agriculture sector as well as industrial sector. To reduce this, we need to primarily focus on rivershed management because they are the birthplace of water as well as the saving arena which is found. And ma'am, we should promote tree cover, which also promotes the soil stability and promote groundwater usage, ma'am.
Now, do you support quota within quota for SCs?
Yes, ma'am, I will support quota within quota because not every member in the so-called SC community will get their due representation.
Okay.
Maybe certain communities will not get has not got their opportunity. To provide opportunity within quota with quota will give them the arena and equal field for development, ma'am.
Have you heard about the Israel-Hamas conflict?
Yes, ma'am.
So now quickly tell me what stance India should take on Israel-Hamas conflict. Only the Indian stance. Yeah.
India should stand neutral in this conflict, ma'am. We should, because this is not an era for war. We should be against a war, and we should get the help of various other international institutions to support and reduce the wars. And also, we should take humanitarian assistance steps to reduce the effect on them, ma'am.
Yeah. Well said. A last question to you is, you have opted for Tamil Nadu as your home cadre, right? Will working among familiar social network affect neutrality? I repeat, see, based on, because we have selected Tamil Nadu as your home cadre, my question to you is, will working, that is when you're going to work there, will that, when you're working with a familiar social network, because you're going to see the same people, you're going to be with the same, state that you're born and brought up. So do you think that is going to affect the neutrality? Because you also mentioned about communication in your answer, that you have to see people, you have to communicate. As a forester, you do all that. So having said that, do you think it is going to affect?
Ma'am, it will promote neutrality in the working. Why the preference for Tamil Nadu is because we have been in the I have been in Tamil Nadu for past 27 years. I would be aware of the local conditions so that I can properly communicate and I can get the opinions from the people that what are the grievances they have. Addressing will be easier, sir, ma'am. So I'll be neutral in every stance. However, I'm ready to work in every other states, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Veranda IAS, where your dream becomes reality.